Hi everyone, let's talk about Second Chance, which is a drawing Tetris-y shape game by Uwe Rosenberg, who has done a fair few of these in the last few years, from Patchwork, Cottage Garden, Indian Summer, and more recently Patchwork Doodle, that's very, very recently, which is quite a similar game. So whether you've seen that or not, in Second Chance we are drawing Tetris shapes, that's exactly the same. But rather than having, a circle of what's about to come up and it's a bit random which one's going to get picked, we draw two cards and everyone playing picks one of those two cards and you fill in your shape. There's no rounds or intermediate scoring or anything like that. We keep going until you can't place a card, and then you need to draw a card, which is your second chance, which is the title of the game. If you can draw that thing, great, you get an extra shape and you can keep going. Or you are out of the game, and that's just it. You get a little benefit for, if there's a tie, you win the tiebreak if you're the first eliminated and stuff like that. But yeah, you have to sit there and wait until the game is finished. It still has, a lot of this is just going to be comparison to Patchwork Doodle because they share a lot of similarities. It still has that feeling of, you are filling in these Tetris shapes. You've got the nice tile laying of how to arrange them. And if you want to, you've still got that. So you can draw them in all sorts of different colors and things, and have a nice coloring session going on in the middle of the game. But the fundamental difference, I think, is that this is even simpler than Patchwork, really, because you can't predict what is going to come up. You have these cards that say what every card in the game is, what every shape that possibly could come up is, but you've got no idea when that could come up, so it's not like you can really plan ahead. And yeah, there are no player powers or anything like that, so that could be a really positive part for you if you just want something really, really, there are no real rules to think about apart from the rules of how to place the thing. Don't overlap them, don't put them outside the grid and stuff. Yeah, and try and be in it as long as you can. Try and fill up your grid. Really, if you can fill up your grid, you just win. Otherwise, you might get knocked out. So yeah, I think those things though, I didn't really like. They weren't positives for me. I didn't like that I had no idea what was coming, and that you take your choice out of the two that are there and try and work out your sheets. It's still got that kind of feel to it, but yeah, it does feel more like you're just along for the ride, that you can't see what's coming up, you have no control over any of it, whereas just with a few player powers in Patchwork Doodle, I think it made a big difference to keeping yourself involved, when you are going to use those things. It's not like you've got huge control over those things, but you are trying to push your luck and weigh up how useful is it, how bad is this thing that I don't really want. Do I want to use my powers, or do I want to save them for later when I might desperately need them? Whereas in Second Chance, there's none of that. It is just, can you fill in this thing? And then, if you don't do it, it's just another one of the normal cards for your second chance, and did you do it or not? No? Okay, then sit there for another 5-10 minutes while we play then. And yeah, you might still win. You might still be in it. You don't get to take part anymore. And yeah, I think that's another part of it as well. The player elimination is not extreme. It's not something that's been done to you, and it's not like you have to wait around for a ton of time. But still, I would like to, out of the two, I feel like they are so similar that I don't know when I would ever play this over Patchwork Doodle. Just because it doesn't have any of those things that I didn't like about it. I think maybe it definitely would have coloured my opinion that I played Patchwork Doodle first and enjoyed it. That maybe we're playing this similar thing and it hasn't got those things that I liked, so maybe I didn't give it. Maybe I need to give it a second chance. I have given it a second chance and I thought the same. But yeah, I think that's maybe the big thing. If you are into the whole colouring, laying Tetris shapes thing, they both have that going on in quite a similar way. But if you want less rules overhead, quicker, maybe you want some player elimination and it's just about trying to stay in it as long as you can, not necessarily going in it to fill up your grid. You maybe want to take the smaller pieces so that you can stay in as long as possible. Keep the biggest open space for if you get a turn where two massive shapes come out. It doesn't matter because you've got these big areas in front of you. But then at the same time, what if someone's placed really cleverly and got really lucky and now they can fill their grid up and end without any player elimination? That is going to be the big part. But if you want some forecast of what might be coming up and you want a few player powers and stuff, And, it's got probably a bit more bias towards the patchwork theming. I think Patchwork Doodle is definitely the one out of the two for me. But playthroughs of both are there. You can't play along with Second Chance, unfortunately, because of the way the game works, but you can play along with the Patchwork Doodle one. Do that if you'd like to. If you want more playthroughs, there's loads and loads on this channel. There's over 300 now. And if you'd like to support them getting made, I have a Patreon. Patreon.com/slickerdrips. As it is for now, though, I'm going to leave you with that. Second Chance. Bye, everyone.